Okay.
I'm gonna.
And that's why, that's why those city councilors can pass a lot of evil rules and evil bylaws and side laws so easily, so quickly, because nobody asks questions.
Nobody questions their authority.
Yes, exactly. Nobody questions their authorities. Nobody questions their motives. Nobody asks questions.
So you're the
Okay.
boss. I have to do what you say because it's just like my job at work and the government and so on and so forth. And you must be taking care of me, and therefore you have my interests at heart, and I should never question that either, and I should trust you.
That's right.
But what if I'm wrong? What if I'm being
That,
led down the garden path, as they say? What if there's an
that's
agenda
right.
behind the scenes?
That's right.
What if it's designed to, steal my wealth,
That's right.
degrade my dignity,
Mm-hmm.
infringe my freedom, and
Mm-hmm.
perhaps even steal my children?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do about that? Well, I can't do anything about that because I've already signed a contract with you. And that
Right.
contract was I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
I've given my consent.
That's right.
Well, unfortunately, I deserve what I'm going to get. And what I'm going to get is tyranny. What I'm going to get is oppression. What I'm going to get is suffering. And you know
Mm-hmm.
what? It's hard to say these words, but what I'm going to get is evil incarnate upon my very soul because I've made a
Right.
mistake. And that
Right.
mistake was not to think.
Right.
Because in order to question, you have to think
That's
that
right.
question, don't you? You
Correct.
have to open your eyes and open your mind and open your soul to realize the situation that you're in.
Correct.
And you know we can give many material examples of this
Mm-hmm.
process throughout
Mm-hmm.
history and even today.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
That's right.
problem with people? What the WEF is going on?
Well, uh,
Is
I don't know.
well, I think I know, and I'm not an egoist, but I think I know that the root of this problem is education.
True.
We have not been taught to think.
Correct.
We have not been taught from day one to question our teachers, to question our
That's right.
leaders, even to question perhaps our parents. Now,
That's
our
right.
parents may have our best interests at heart,
That's right.
but not always.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's criminal cases where that's not always true. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
let's just be generous for a minute and put that aside. Let's say that
Sure.
most parents, would put the best interests of their children at heart
Correct.
and be doing everything in their power to take care of them and ensure their productive and happy existence.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but was your teacher your parent? So why did you transfer the parental connection that you have to
Mm-hmm.
the school and the teacher who are not your family,
Mm-hmm.
who work for somebody else and are paid by
Mm-hmm.
them,
Mm-hmm.
whoever they may be, a government or so on? Why would you
Right.
do that? It's not
Mm-hmm.
the same at all. It's
True.
not even remotely similar.
True.
Has your parents
True.
gone and made a personal relationship with the teacher of their children?
Nope.
Have you had a cup of coffee with them even?
Nope.
I've heard of things like the PTA, the Parents Teachers Associations.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one in your school? No.
There may be one. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no doubt, the mother of your children might communicate with them. But,
Mm-hmm.
we do have a window dressing system where there's supposed to be a parent teacher association. But
Right.
do they individually meet with all the teachers and have social occasions and events and perhaps interlocutories with them where they discuss the philosophy of teaching and the curriculum that's being imposed on their children?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you think it should be that way? You're sighing here because it's so obvious, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
obvious that the very important thing in our lives is the education of our children. Yet we've given it off, we've handed it off to someone
But
that we don't even
that's
know, a complete
well,
stranger.
it's been for generations where we've been handing over
Exactly.
a lot of things.
Exactly.
Control, power, authority, the
I'm not picking on one thing
welfare,
here.
general well-being of ourselves, our kids, educations, and social welfare and such,
Exactly. It's
all to
it,
the so-called quote unquote authority
it's
without questioning.
it's part of a pattern. It's not just that one thing. I just picked on that one thing, right? But I could go on to
Sure,
more. What about your money? What happened to your
same
money?
thing.
Where's your money right now? Is it in your house? Is it in your hand? Is it under your bed? No, I'm not accusing you,
All right.
right? But I'm going to
Right.
guess that you've got your money in somebody else's hand,
Sure.
called a bank.
Yep.
Do you know that guy?
Nope.
Have you met him?
Nope.
Have you had a cup of coffee with him?
Nope.
Well, then why the WAF did you give him all your money? I'm not, accusing you
No,
of being,
I know what you mean.
of
I know
anything
what you
here.
mean, and I appreciate you leading me into all these deep thoughts, right?
Yeah, yeah. But
But it's
yeah,
just the yeah.
the point is that we are zombies. We're
Mhm.
sleepwalking through life in a patterned, predicted, preconditioned system
Right.
that's
Right.
hierarchical. It's
Correct.
hierarchical. It's not community based. It's not, it's not based on agreements between people. It's based
Correct.
on contracts that are either under duress or under
Mhm.
ignorance.
Mhm.
Under ignorance. For example, if
Okay.
there's two kinds of contracts. Actually, there's three kinds. There's one that's open and obvious.
Mhm.
In other words, I make a deal with you. I'm going to buy your car. Fine.
Mhm.
Here's $500. I'll take it. I
Mhm.
guess that's what we call a beater. $500 doesn't
Mhm.
get you much of a car these days.
Mhm.
And the other thing is that I'll sell you a car. Okay, fine. And I give
Mhm.
you $500, but the car doesn't work.
Mhm.
Well, that was a dishonest contract, wasn't it?
Mhm.
This car was broken.
Mhm.
And there's a third kind of contract, and that is,
Oh.
I'll sell you this car, but you know what? I don't think it's really in good condition,
Right.
and it might be broken.
Right.
And I'd like to work with you to make this car work.
Mhm.
So let's work. Let's fix the car, and then once it's fixed, then you can take possession of it. In other words,
Right.
I'm only going to let you have this car after you've given me some money.
Right.
What we'll do is we'll make this car work for you because
Right.
I want you to be happy with it. I
Right.
want it to be useful for you.
Right.
I don't want to sell you a piece of junk. I don't want to sell you something that's broken because that would be unethical.
Right.
So what kind of contract do we have with our schools, with our governments, with our banks? If we have money in a bank that goes out of business, do we have a
Right.
guarantee that we'll get all our money back? Oh, yes, we
Nope.
do. We have a government department called the Financial something something FTC.
FDIC or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. And they guarantee your deposit up to a certain limit.
Right.
Why the certain limit? Why is that? Was there an explanation for why there was a certain limit on there?
No, nobody asked.
No,
Nobody
nobody
knows.
asked and nobody explained because you know what?
Right.
You're an idiot.
Mm.
You're an idiot if you don't ask and don't explain. Why should there be any limit?
Right.
Well, practically there should be a limit because if that bank fails, it won't be able to pay
Right.
back any money to the depositors, right?
That's right.
So why would you give your money to somebody who might fail And there's no backstop. There's no support above a certain limit. So what, you've been told in advance that you're going to lose any of your money above a certain limit. So why would you why would you continue to give your money to these people? That's like me saying, okay, what, I'm going to lend you $10,000.
Right.
But you only guarantee to give me 5,000 back.
Right.
Am I going to be okay with that?
No.
Hell no! I just said to you that you were hard up and you had some problems, and I'm going to lend you 10 grand. But you just told me I only get 5,000 back in case your hard times continue.
That's right.
Am I going to lend you that 10 grand? Hell no! I'm going to lend you 5 grand because that's the only money you can guarantee to pay me back.
Right.
So what on earth is going on in our society?
It's a scam.
It's a scam. It's a control system. It's a control mechanism based on dishonesty.
Right.
Stop.